Sup, Raptors fans? I'm back. But a lot of people asked, where did Jason go? I went, and I've been thinking about this for 6 days.
Under a rock.
Like Patrick Starr. I went exactly where the Raptors fans go when they don't win games in our comment sections.
Well.
Disappear. Exactly where you guys go. No, I was on, I'm like Bill O'Reilly. Here's the other one I was thinking. I'm like Bill O'Reilly. I had a planned vacation.
But you didn't get fired.
I didn't get fired on my day off, which I think makes me one of the first in 2017. J.R. Jackson's very quick to make the how you gonna get fired on your day off meme.
Yeah.
Still here. But if I did, I just would have stayed in Mexico.
Just made a life there?
Just made a life. I didn't do anything.
Just lived on the beach?
Lived on the beach.
You were on this zero dark 30, but yet Instagram wasn't included in the zero dark 30.
No, so what I did with so I turned off one of the things I did was turn off like all notifications, which I have to say for like 3 or 4 days, it was one of the most refreshing things in the world to just turn off, like, I only had emails set for like specific people in case of like an emergency, but most of that didn't come through, so thank you to everybody here, Dan Francis, taking care of all TYT Sports. Truly amazing. And then like Instagram, Twitter, I deleted Snapchat because I never use it, ever.
Yeah, I don't use it as much anymore either. And
then unless I find a girl, then she needs to send me some photos, and by all means, we'll reload Snapchat when we need it. But all the social media and and it just, your phone battery lasts 4 days.
It doesn't die 8 times a day.
Like, and the craziest one was like no updates from like Bleacher, ESPN, or SportsCenter. So like there was a couple TVs there like in some of the bars and lounges, and it wasn't only tuned to sports. However, the Anthony Joshua fight was on, and oh my God, that was my fill of sports for the weekend. And then like round 3 of the NFL draft, and I'm looking like, wonder who went. What? Oh. Huh. And then the playoffs, I knew the Raptors won in 6 games. I always underestimate them. I always will underestimate them. You're not going to get apologies from me. I have my reasoning for why I don't think they're as good as they are, and it's consistency, hence why they got blown out in 2 games and won 4.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I think they're going to win a game or 2 against the Cavs. It's just going to have to happen on their home court. Before we get into
with all those, the last thing before we get into actual NBA, and with all those notifications, you never got anything about Checkgate, where Francis Maxwell lost his blue check whilst you were gone. And the chief troll wasn't on Twitter. I've never been more thankful for Jason never being on Twitter than that moment.
Why'd they take it away from you?
They took it away because I changed my username from _ to M, so they're all linked up, and they just took it.
But I feel like that can't be the only reason.
I don't know if they're just trying to mess with me.
when you hit change username,
yeah, just come back on.
And then immediately it
was gone, like that. Just like that. And as a true Jordy said, you went from Francis Maxwell, respect the journalist, to Francis Maxwell, journalist. But yeah, if there's one person I did not want to be on Twitter at that time, it was you, because you would have.
You were safe.
You would have, because you during the whole verification scandal on your end, where you were taking a little bit and you created yourself an own little blue check. I felt that was going to come back and haunt me, but somebody said, "Does Jason know about this?" And I was like, "He's off Twitter. I have time to come back." And thankfully,
I'm not even kidding. The first thing that happened when I did pull up Twitter, because I love Twitter. I think it's the greatest, worst thing ever created. I've said that multiple times. Like, it can get you fired, but it's fun.
No doubt.
And very few things in life can get you fired, and also, actually, take that back. Everything in life can get you fired, and it's also fun. But I checked Twitter, and the Mets are losing 23-5. And I was just like, I'm never opening this stupid app again. I thought it was a joke. It's like soccer. It's like if you open Twitter after 4 days and Celtic losing to the Rangers 23-5.
That's insane.
Exactly that. You'd be like, well, we had 5 goals.
But they didn't. We continuously smashed Rangers. But
as you do. Off to
NBA.
Yeah, man, it was great to come back and just watch a ton of basketball. I caught up on a lot of what I missed because I'm weird. I get off a plane and I sit down and I watch like 7 NBA games almost in full. Not in full, like the condensed 40-minute versions of them. Going like, wow, I missed. Like, it's 6 days, but you feel like you missed an entirety of like a chunk of the NBA playoffs. The Clippers, man, that was fun. I think it's good for the Clippers, though. I really, really do. We were saying, is it better at this point to just I said throw the series, not like actually throw the series, but like a loss for them will make them actually rethink.
Yeah.
Because imagine if they won with this, imagine if they go into Golden State and they make it a 6-game series, then you're stuck with Blake. They're going to probably re-sign him. Well, Blake wasn't there, but they're going to be like, we can win with the core we have when they obviously can't. So that's a good thing. What Isaiah Thomas did last night is the single greatest scoring performance in Celtics playoffs history.
53 was it?
53. There's only one other player to ever do 50 on 50% shooting, and that was Ray Allen's ridiculous game one, I think it was, where they lost to Chicago in that great series in 2009. That's the only other player to do 50 points on 50% shooting in Celtics playoff history. But then I was curious, and I said, like, what about 40 points on 50% shooting? And there's only like 6 names on that list.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Thomas is already there.
And look at the names. You're not in bad company with Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Larry Bird.
Good job, Reggie Lewis. 1992, showing up. I mean, this is like the most decorated, not even like, it is the most decorated NBA franchise in history. They have the most banners hanging from their ceiling. So the players that come along with that, when you think of it, Isaiah Thomas was unstoppable when it mattered most. He had 27 in the fourth quarter in overtime, and he knocked down everything. But that doesn't take away from John Wall. You have another graphic, because I came to the conclusion yesterday, and it took me probably about 2 years too late. The audience has been harping on me for this one for a long time. John Wall's the best point guard in the Eastern Conference, just in terms of all-around ability. Now, what's unfair is he's got a better build to compete than Isaiah Thomas. I would think that Isaiah Thomas is undoubtedly the better scorer.
Yeah.
Probably the better shot creator. But I think John Wall can do a lot of things better
13 assists,
than Thomas did. And you can see that especially in the first quarter. He's still the fastest guard in the league, I think.
Yeah, he is undoubtedly quick. But what I think about John Wall is that he combines a lot of what makes point guards so special in today's day and age, but also still has those fundamentals of passing and looking for that shot rather than taking it himself more than anything else, because it depends on what team you're on. If you're on a team that is not blessed with a plethora of talent, you're going to take Russell Westbrook because he's going to help take you to that next level. But if you're on a team that you've got some other scorers, like maybe you're on a Golden State Warriors, I know Steph Curry's doing pretty fine on his own end, him that was out of form, by the way.
They had some others.
Some others. So John Wall would fit into a system like that because he could score and he also could provide great looks for other players. So I think that you're right. I think that he has a lot to play with, and if that Wizards team had maybe a couple of other more undeniable scorers to partner with him, they would be a very similar team to what I look at as like the Rockets. The Rockets have people that can score and keep up with James Harden, who's leading their team, and help take them to the next level. That's why that Rockets game, I know we're a day behind. This team is, you're so on point when you mention, when you leave, Jason, I give you credit. Hey, I don't give you credit when you sit here.
I sit here, I get nothing.
Chewy and I were sitting here and Jason said that Mike D'Antoni should be maybe the coach of the year, because the way that he has this team drilled, man. I watched that game. He's up against a mechanical system that usually just presses a button and it's all systems go. And they just destroyed them. Like, it's just destroyed them. So I'm excited for that series. But yeah, I agree, John Wall. Top draw.
Here's the formula. What makes, and first of all, the Celtics have won 6 straight. I don't know if how many people are following this, but you know, Rondo goes down in the Bulls series, and that obviously changed a ton and the entire direction that series was going was changed after that. And then the Celtics started to rebound. As Markieff Morris was pissed, and we had to skip we can skip the next graphic to go to 18. He said we're not playing tough enough. We had the advantage late in the game, and all we had to do was just play tough. We didn't have to make shots. We didn't have to get stops. All we had to do was play tough. We let them get offensive rebounds late in the game. Guys are just walking in the basket, and we're just worried about our own personal, I think he said shit.
Yeah.
It's about the team. And he's right. Jay Crowder was there for some big rebound. Look, I've always said this. If Isaiah Thomas is hustling to grab a rebound between 3, 6, 8 guys or taller, as a coach, I would be losing my mind. There is no good reason why Isaiah Thomas should ever be able to get an offensive rebound. Even when it falls to him, it still takes an extra foot for the ball to fall, for it to get to his hands reaching up. So the Celtics fought harder. They fought harder on the offensive glass. They fought harder defensively. Avery Bradley came up with some big stops. Isaiah Thomas also had a really big steal late in that game. And now they go back to Washington down 2-0. As I said yesterday, I think the Wizards have answers. They've been in these games. It's not been a blowout. They've had big first quarter leads. I think that this could come back to Boston 2-2. I would think that it will come back 3-1. I've always been high on the Celtics. I've always thought this is the team they can be under Brad Stevens, and it's just nice to walk into probably Cleveland and probably lose in 5 or 6 games.
Still be a great series, though. I think we're destined for a great Eastern and Western Conference Finals if things pan out. I was talking to Chewy yesterday. If the Rockets meet the Golden State Warriors in the finals, it's going to be 196 to 175.
The thing about the Rockets, man, is if they're on, it's like in a different way than the Warriors, but in that same Mike D'Antoni pace. If they're on, And they have, as you've mentioned, you used this word, if they're on their front foot, you can't stop them. There is no way to slow them down. They are too fast. They can be too efficient. And while I think the Spurs and Rockets should go 7 games, because when you look at it, like, I don't know if Popovich has been swept.
Yeah.
I got to look it up. I don't know if he's ever been swept in a series. And if he has, it's definitely before 2010.
Yeah.
He's too smart at adjusting. That's why when I was watching the Rockets-Spurs game on replay, I knew the outcome of the game, but my whole thing I was looking for was like in the second quarter, I was expecting, it's the Spurs, like they'll make this by the end, it will be a 9-point Rockets victory, and we'll think like, oh, that wasn't so bad. But it wasn't. They just kept scoring.
Yeah, they had they never took their foot off the accelerator. But as I'm sure we'll transition to the other game, as we've got another team that seems to be proving that they are, when they're on, they're on. I mean, there's one thing about Steph Curry in this game that I noticed is his ability to drive to the hoop more than just simply taking his usual 3 points from distance. There was one play where I think there might be some sort of criminal charge against Steph Curry for breaking the ankles. Of I don't know exactly what Utah Jazz player it was, but it was three different times that his ankles, I think, folded. And this guy's, if it is Rudy Gobert, the guy's suffering an ankle injury already. Leave him alone, Steph. But either way, drives to the hoop and then lays one up. His usual layups that come down with snow on it. But the Golden State Warriors have been starting games so furiously recently that I think it specifically the way they started their final game against Portland, that was a massacre within the first 4 minutes.
Oh, the 45-point first quarter.
So
you text me, you go, hey, so, yeah.
I never said anything.
That's all you said. I was like, I know.
And we were both knowing that I was talking about the Warriors. So yeah, I think they can be frightening as well. I mean, the Jazz did well to pull it back somewhat towards the end, but when this is a Steph Curry that was out of form, man.
Quinn Snyder, their coach, who I've grown to respect as, after the Clippers series, how he adjusted what he's getting out of his players, I think he's an underrated coach. I don't think he's a great game-changing coach, but I think he's got a system that's going to possibly win him a game. The Jazz have beaten the Warriors. They beat them in the regular season this year. I don't know if they can pull it off at home, unless you get ISO Joe going. I mean, unless Joe Johnson's got a 44-point game in him. But he said after the game, they asked him, what's the hardest part about playing the Warriors? And he just kept going. He started listing reasons. He goes, how fast they switch on to you, how quickly they open up space, how fast they are in transition, how much their defensive matchups throw you constantly changing. You have to constantly change your offense just to keep up with them. Because the difference is when you have, if Gordon Hayward's got the ball and Kevin Durant is guarding him and they want to switch KD onto what's going to be an open Rodney Hood, you have Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and Draymond Green, 3 furiously talented defenders. So when they start swapping up the lengthy guy to the physical guy, KD to Draymond Green, like you're getting first you can't get by the guy, and now you have to play up physically against somebody who's going to beat you and then tell you some very mean things to your face with the ball in your hand.
Unless you're KD, in which he will tell you some really encouraging things. You go, I'm going to tell my mom to tell your mom that you go, no,
that you are the real MVP. Although, I mean, a rumor has it that KD talks some trash, but I mean, Draymond Green, I would just mic him up for a game and let the censors loose. Just once, pay the fines. It'll be the most watched game of the season.
No doubt.
I just want to know what he says. I just want to know what he says. Warriors are good at basketball. That's what happened when I left. The Cavs are also good at basketball. Rockets seem pretty good at basketball.
How many margaritas did you have on a daily basis?
So the great thing about that, by the way, is it's all inclusive. So you take like a little nap in the cabana on the beach because there's cabanas, and every like 25 minutes they very, very gently and nicely, would you like another drink, sir? And they wake you up and you go, I would. And you drink it and then you put it down and like all of a sudden you have like 16 half-drank margaritas, pineapple vodkas, beers,
Sounds like I'm looking forward to it. I'm also going.
Brought back pesos with me if anybody wants to make some bets in Mexican currency. 200 pesos, it's like $3.
Count me out.
No? You don't want to make my 200 peso bet?
I'll pass, but it's good to have you back, mate. But I have been carrying the weight, no problem. Me and Andre,
you guys
get a new bond.
You and Andre were fantastic. You and Chewy were great. You were great on the NBA. front altogether. I couldn't agree with any of the sentiments you made more, and that's why I was thinking, like, I'm just gonna take another week. Francis got this on lock. What do I need to go back
And then
for?
come back for the finals and steal the show.
Yeah, just probably stay till, who knows, August, September. I'll come back for NFL season.
There you go. You did this yesterday with Chewy. This is a double move. Chikori's already done this, but I like it.